Eli Carter stepped off the small human shuttle, his boots crunching against the smooth, silver-tinted ground of Vorlath Prime, a planet famous across the galaxy for its massive guardian beasts. The air smelled faintly metallic, a mix of energy discharge and ozone, but Eli barely noticed. His focus was on the towering forms in the distance, creatures part organic, part machine, standing silently like ancient soldiers waiting for orders. This place, it's bigger than I imagined, muttered Lieutenant Zara, his companion from the human crew. She kept scanning the area with her eyes wide. The alien city around them gleamed with energy lines crisscrossing the sky, and hovering vehicles zipped between spires. Yet all the humans' attention was drawn to the beasts. Colossal creatures with armor-like plating, glowing circuits running through their limbs, and eyes that seemed almost intelligent. "They don't look friendly," Zara whispered. Eli smiled faintly, adjusting his toolkit. "They're not," he said. "But that's okay. They're broken. That's why I'm here." The alien council met them in a large chamber, tall and luminous, walls flowing like liquid crystal. Each council member had 4 arms and eyes that reflected every movement in the room. They spoke in a language that humans couldn't fully understand, so an interpreter relayed the meaning. "You are human," one of the council members said, its voice sharp. "You claim to repair a guardian beast. Why should we trust you?" "Many have tried. None succeeded." Eli stepped forward, calm. "I don't care if no one succeeded. I work with machines and systems every day. I'll study it, understand it, and repair it. That's all." The aliens exchanged doubtful glances. One of them, Galore, a high-ranking engineer, scowled. "You are small, weak, and inexperienced. How can you handle the beast? It is alive, it feels, it fights, and it will resist you. You humans, I'll handle it," Eli interrupted, not angrily but firmly. His hands rested on the edges of his toolbox, worn but reliable. "I've worked with machines you wouldn't believe, and living ones too. I can learn from it. I can fix it." Galler stared at him, suspicion plain on his face. "Very well," he said slowly. "The beast awaits. Fail and you leave immediately. We will not tolerate mistakes." The guardian beast stood in a massive open area beyond the city, tied to support structures but clearly straining against them. Its body was taller than a building, plated with dark, reflective armor and pulsing energy veins. The head was angular, with eyes glowing faint blue. Its legs were jointed like a predator's but ended in sharp claws. The tail was long, tipped with energy nodes that flickered like warning lights. Eli approached cautiously, his heart racing. He had seen schematics of these beasts before, but seeing one alive, even bound, was different. Every movement it made sent vibrations through the ground. "Okay, big guy," Eli muttered. He crouched near the leg, inspecting the joint. Sparks of malfunctioning energy arced slightly, making the beast shiver. It growled softly, a low, resonant sound that seemed to shake the air. He set down his toolbox and began examining the mechanical components first, using sensors to detect malfunctions. His fingers traced along wires and plating, careful not to trigger its defensive systems. He noted fractures in the armor, misaligned joints, and corrupted energy circuits. The aliens had left him alone, but that didn't mean he was safe. Any sudden mistake could make the beast lash out. He had to work carefully, think carefully, and most importantly, understand it as a living being, not just a machine. Hours passed. Eli worked silently, checking the beast's systems, tightening bolts, realigning circuits, and even crafting small tools from spare parts. Sweat dripped from his forehead, but his hands moved with precision. He noticed patterns in the beast's movements. It wasn't just random motion. Every twitch, every blink was a signal. "You feel the pain," Eli whispered. "You're not broken like you think. You just need help." The beast tilted its massive head slightly, eyes flickering as if acknowledging him. Eli froze for a moment. The council had said the beast could sense trust, but he didn't expect it to respond. Then came the first challenge. One of the primary energy conduits had shorted, sending sparks across the beast's flank. It roared, raising a massive arm. Eli ducked instinctively. The beast tested him, but he held his ground, speaking softly. "Easy, easy. I'm not your enemy," he said, moving closer. Slowly, he repaired the conduit, rewiring it with an improvised stabilizer. The sparks stopped. The beast lowered its arm, eyes narrowing as if judging him. By nightfall, Eli had repaired most of the major systems. The alien council observed from above, their voices muttering in disbelief. None had expected a human to succeed this far. Some engineers even whispered that the human's methods were unorthodox, yet somehow effective. Eli paused to rest, wiping sweat from his brow. He looked up at the beast, now calmer but still tense. "You're smarter than they give you credit for," he said quietly. "But you're not just smart. You can be better than anyone thinks. Together we can do this." A soft hum resonated from the beast. Its body shivered, and for the first time, it seemed aware of Eli as more than a repairer. Just as he was finishing his work for the day, the beast made a small movement, a step forward, slow but deliberate. Eli's heart jumped. He had never seen this before. The aliens gasped from the observation decks. "You?" "It moved," one whispered. "Yes," Eli replied. "And it chose to. It trusts me." At least a little. He didn't celebrate. There was still much work ahead. The council would be watching. The beast could turn at any moment. And the humans had only just arrived on a planet where even the strongest alien engineers had failed. But Eli felt something that no one else expected. Humans could adapt, improvise, and connect in ways others couldn't. And if he succeeded, it would not just be a repair job. It would be a bond no one had ever seen before. Night fell over Vorlath Prime, and the city lights reflected off the beast's armor, making it gleam like a living statue. Eli stayed beside it, hands resting on the mechanical plating, listening to the faint hum of circuits and life beneath. "Tomorrow," he said softly, "we start fresh. And this time we'll do more than just repair. We'll awaken something amazing." As he looked up at the stars, Eli knew the road ahead was dangerous, yet he felt the unmistakable thrill of possibility. The thrill of a human proving that courage, creativity, and determination could surpass even the most advanced alien engineering. And somewhere deep inside the beast, something stirred, an awareness that this small, strange creature from another world might just change its destiny forever. The first light of Vorlath Prime's twin suns shimmered over the city, casting long golden reflections on the massive forms of the guardian beasts. Eli Carter had already begun his day, crouched beside the colossal creature he had been assigned to repair. Its body hummed with energy, circuits pulsing faintly, showing signs of recovery, but there were still many systems malfunctioning. "All right, big guy," Eli said, adjusting his toolkit. "Time to finish this." The alien engineers, including the skeptical Galor, watched from above. Their multiple eyes flicked between Eli and the beast, muttering incomprehensible phrases. They were curious, perhaps even afraid. None had expected a human to work this far into the creature's complex systems without failure. Eli approached the beast's central processor, a network of glowing conduits buried deep beneath its armor. He studied the intricate alien designs, cross-referencing them with his own human schematics stored in a portable device. For a moment he felt overwhelmed. The alien technology was more advanced than anything on Earth, far beyond human understanding in theory. But that didn't stop him. "Humans don't just follow manuals," he muttered to himself. "We improvise." Using a combination of sensors, tools, and his own hands, Eli began reconnecting damaged energy conduits. Sparks flew occasionally, making the beast shiver, but he moved cautiously, adjusting his approach with every reaction. He could feel the intelligence beneath the armor. This wasn't just a machine. The beast observed him, testing him, judging him. Hours passed. Sweat dripped from Eli's forehead, but his hands moved with precision. He noticed something astonishing. The beast's movements were not random. Every twitch, every slight tilt of its head was a reaction to his touch and work. The creature was learning him just as he was learning it. "Good. Yes, just like that," Eli whispered, tapping a damaged joint into alignment. The beast's limb moved smoothly for the first time, responding to his adjustments. The aliens watching gasped. Gaylor narrowed his eyes. Impossible. No human should have the intuition to fix that system. But Eli didn't care about their doubts. He had to focus. There was still a problem with the beast's mobility core, the massive engine embedded in its chest that powered both its strength and its artificial intelligence. Previous attempts by alien engineers had failed, leaving the core partially inactive. Eli studied the complex network of energy conduits, and an idea formed. He combined human mechanical improvisation with alien tech, a hybrid solution no alien would attempt. Carefully, he installed a makeshift stabilizer and rerouted power through auxiliary circuits. The beast twitched, its energy veins glowing brighter, Come on, just a little more, Eli muttered, tightening the last connection. The beast's eyes flared with blue light, then green, and finally stabilized. It lifted its massive head, observing Eli. For a moment, the two stared at each other, human and alien guardian, separated by species but united by trust. Then, unexpectedly, the beast moved its legs, slow, deliberate, testing its strength. It stepped forward, crushing the ground beneath it, yet carefully avoiding Eli. The aliens above gasped in unison. "You did it," one whispered. "It's alive. Fully alive." Eli smiled, exhausted but triumphant. "We did it," he said, patting the creature's massive armored leg. "We did it together." The morning's repair session ended, but the real challenge began when the beast started reacting beyond its programming. It began following Eli's movements, crouching when he crouched, tilting its head when he tilted his own. It was no longer a machine, it was aware, and it seemed to choose Eli as its companion. The alien council was stunned. A human had bonded with a guardian beast, something they considered impossible. The council had always believed the beasts could only follow alien engineers, who understood the delicate balance between their organic and mechanical components. But Eli's methods were different. He didn't just repair the beast. He communicated with it, understood it, and built trust. That human touch, curiosity, patience, and respect was something no alien had ever tried. "Perhaps humans are not as weak as we thought," Galor muttered under his breath, disbelief in his tone. Eli's next challenge came unexpectedly. A sudden alert flashed across the city. A rogue alien faction was attempting to infiltrate the area, aiming to steal the guardian beast's power core. Their motives were unknown, but they were aggressive, armed with advanced weapons. The beast roared, a sound that shook the ground. Its massive claws dug into the earth, tail whipping with raw power. The humans and aliens watching froze. This was the first time a guardian beast had been active and alert without orders from the council. Eli stepped forward, placing his hand on the beast's armored chest. "Easy, I've got this," he said calmly. Then to the alien guards he shouted, "Step back! Let me handle this." The beast responded to Eli's words and gestures. It moved with precision, positioning itself defensively. The rogue faction approached cautiously, not expecting the beast to act independently, but Eli had a plan. Using a combination of human strategy and his understanding of the beast's systems, Eli directed the creature in real time. He guided its movements, telling it when to swing its tail, when to stomp, and when to block. The beast obeyed, almost as if it understood his commands instinctively. The aliens watching were astounded. No human had ever coordinated a guardian beast in combat before. They had been designed to protect, yes, but only under strict alien control. And yet here was Eli, a single human controlling one with a combination of respect, intuition, and strategy. The rogue aliens hesitated, then attacked. Energy blasts met the beast's armor, but it deflected them with ease, following Eli's precise directions. With a sweep of its tail, it knocked the attackers back, sending them scrambling for cover. You're amazing," one of the alien engineers whispered. Eli didn't stop. He continued guiding the beast, moving through the battlefield like a dancer. Each movement was calculated yet fluid. The rogue aliens realized too late that they were outmatched, not because the beast was stronger, but because humans could think in ways the aliens never anticipated. Finally, the attackers retreated, leaving the area in silence. The beast lowered its head, its eyes flickering softly. It had protected Eli just as he had guided it. Eli patted its armored leg gently. "See, we work better together. You and me." The aliens observing the scene were silent, awed. Some were skeptical, some jealous. But all realized one undeniable fact: humans could achieve what no alien could. As the day turned to evening, Eli worked on fine-tuning the beast's systems. He adjusted minor energy circuits, repaired small armor fractures, and calibrated its sensory arrays. Every adjustment was done carefully, respecting the creature's awareness and intelligence. "This isn't just a machine," he whispered to himself. "It's alive, and it deserves to be treated that way." The beast responded subtly, a small vibration through its legs, almost like a purr. Eli laughed softly. "You like that, don't you?" The alien council convened quietly, debating in hushed tones. Some argued that humans were unpredictable and dangerous. Others were beginning to see the potential. Could it be possible that humans, fragile as they seemed, could bond with and improve the mighty guardian beasts? Meanwhile, Eli's thoughts wandered. He didn't care about the council's debates. He had a more immediate concern: building a bond with the beast, understanding it fully, and ensuring it could function at its maximum potential. For the first time, he felt a connection that transcended species. The beast was no longer a project or a machine. It was a partner, a living guardian that had chosen him, and Eli in turn chose it. As night fell, the twin moons of Vorlath Prime rose, casting silver light across the massive armored form of the beast. Eli sat beside it, hands resting on its metal-plated flank, listening to the hum of circuits and life within. He smiled, feeling a surge of pride and excitement. "Tomorrow," he said quietly, "we see how far we can go. Together, we might just surprise everyone, including ourselves." And somewhere deep inside the beast, something stirred. An awareness that this small human from another world was different. Not just a mechanic, but a thinker, a strategist, and perhaps a friend. For the first time in its existence, the beast had hope, and Eli had purpose. The stars above Vorlath Prime shone brightly, and a silent promise hung in the air. The story of human ingenuity and courage was only just beginning. The morning sun of Vorlath Prime crept over the horizon, casting long shadows across the vast training grounds where the guardian beasts stood. Eli Carter had spent the night beside the massive creature he had repaired, keeping watch, fine-tuning minor systems, and observing its responses. The beast, now fully repaired, had moved freely during the night, testing its strength and agility, but always returning to him. Today felt different. Eli could sense it. "Something's changing," he muttered, adjusting the controls in his portable toolkit. "You're not just repaired anymore, you're awakening." The beast stirred, its armored chest glowing with pulsing energy. Slowly, it rose to its full height. Towering above even the tallest alien observers, it let out a deep, resonant roar that echoed across the plains. The sound was not aggressive but commanding, a declaration of awareness. Eli took a step back, his heart racing. The beast had always been powerful, but now it moved with intelligence, like it was evaluating everything around it. Its eyes, focused on him, then swept over the alien council and engineers who had gathered to witness the repair's results. The council members gasped. Many whispered among themselves, disbelief written on their faces. Galor, usually cold and skeptical, stepped forward, his voice shaking slightly. "Impossible. It should not have reached this level of autonomy. No human influence could have awakened it like this." Eli wiped sweat from his forehead, feeling a mixture of pride and tension. "It's not just about fixing machines," he said quietly. "It's about understanding them, connecting with them." Without warning, a series of alarms blared across the city. Sensors detected unidentified ships approaching Vorlath Prime. They moved fast, sleek, and armed, a rogue faction attempting to infiltrate the planet's defenses. The council members panicked. "The guardian beasts," one shouted. "Deploy them immediately." Eli raised his hand. "Wait, let me handle this." The beast turned its massive head toward him, eyes flickering as if acknowledging his words. It lowered its body slightly, crouching in preparation, muscles and servos tensing. Eli climbed onto a nearby structure for a better view and pulled out his portable interface device. He tapped into the beast's systems, sending subtle commands, guiding its movements without restricting its awareness. The rogue ships fired energy bolts at the city's defenses. The guardian beast moved with grace and speed that no one had expected. Its tail whipped through the air, knocking ships off balance. Its claws struck with precision, cutting through the attackers' shields without damaging the environment unnecessarily. Eli's heart pounded. "That's it, follow my lead," he muttered. "We can do this together." The aliens watching were in shock. They had never seen a human coordinate a guardian beast in real-time combat. Even elite alien engineers struggled to control these creatures, relying on rigid programming. Eli, however, worked through trust, intuition, and understanding. The beast leaped over debris, landing with controlled force, sending shockwaves that disrupted the rogue faction's advance. It moved like a predator, but its intelligence was clear. Every strike, every maneuver seemed calculated, adaptive, and aware. "Look at it," an alien engineer whispered. It's listening to the human." Eli nodded without looking away from the battle. "Not just listening, it's learning and responding." The rogue faction regrouped, sending a massive energy cannon toward the city's power core. Without hesitation, Eli directed the beast toward the threat. The ground shook as it ran, each step a thunderous statement of strength and precision. It reached the cannon and, with a single swipe of its massive tail, destroyed it completely. The Alien Council was speechless. Their most advanced security systems had failed to stop the cannon, yet a human, using a repaired beast, neutralized it with ease. Murmurs of awe and disbelief spread among the onlookers. Galore clenched his fists, struggling to accept what he had witnessed. How can a human do this?" he muttered under his breath. Eli, focusing on the beast, didn't respond. He knew the answer. Humans adapt, improvise, and connect in ways others can't predict. That was why the beast responded to him, why it had chosen him over anyone else. After the battle, the city quieted. The rogue ships retreated, and the beast lowered itself, kneeling beside Eli as if awaiting instruction. The Alien Council cautiously approached, their expressions a mix of fear, respect, and curiosity. One council member spoke, voice trembling slightly. "Human, you have awakened the guardian beast beyond any protocol. It obeys you." "How?" Eli wiped the sweat from his brow and smiled faintly. "I didn't make it obey, I just listened, I understood it. It knows I'm not a threat. That's enough for it to trust me." The council members exchanged uneasy glances. Trust? A human had built trust with a machine guardian, something they had believed impossible. Galore, still skeptical, stepped forward. "You claim this bond is natural, but what if it is dangerous? The beast is massive, powerful, and now, unpredictable. You risk the entire city." Eli shook his head. "No. The risk is theirs if they don't respect it. The beast won't harm anyone unless provoked, but it will act if it senses danger. Just like I did." The council was silent, contemplating the human's words. The truth was undeniable. The beast had saved the city from an attack that would have caused massive destruction. And it had done so under Eli's guidance, not through programming, not through force. Over the next few hours, Eli worked on integrating the beast further into the city's defense systems. Unlike the aliens who relied on rigid control interfaces, Eli allowed the beast to make decisions independently, offering guidance rather than commands. It responded, learning and improving with every interaction. "See," Eli said to the beast, tapping a sensor on its shoulder. "You're faster, smarter, stronger than anyone imagined, and it's because we work together." The beast responded with a soft hum, a vibration that resonated through Eli's chest. For the first time, it seemed to acknowledge partnership rather than obedience. Children from the city, previously hidden during the attack, peeked out from behind buildings. They watched in awe as the massive beast moved gracefully, responding to Eli's gestures like a living, breathing guardian with a mind of its own. Some of them whispered among themselves, amazed. "Humans are special," one said. Eli smiled, feeling pride swell. It wasn't just about saving the city. It was about showing that humans could do what others couldn't. Not with brute force, but with ingenuity, empathy, and courage. Evening came and the battle was over. The city had suffered minimal damage thanks to Eli and the beast. The Alien Council convened an emergency session, debating the implications of what they had seen. "Perhaps humans are not as weak as we believed," one member said slowly. Galore, though still skeptical, admitted grudgingly. "They think differently, and that thinking has power. The beast is stronger, faster, more aware under him than under any of us." Eli, meanwhile, sat beside the beast, hands resting on its armored flank. The massive creature lowered its head to meet his gaze. Its eyes glowed softly, blue-green now, showing recognition and trust. Eli whispered, "We did it. Today we proved something important. Not just for us, but for everyone watching. The beast's hum vibrated like an affirmation, its body pulsing gently with energy. Eli leaned against it, exhausted but exhilarated. The city was safe, the rogue attackers gone, and something had shifted in the way the aliens saw humans. No one knew what the future would bring, but one fact was clear. Humans were not to be underestimated. A single human, using creativity, courage, and understanding, had awakened a force that no alien had thought possible. The twin moons rose in the sky, casting silver light over the guardian beast and its human companion. The stars seemed to shine a little brighter that night, as if acknowledging the dawn of a new era, one where humanity had begun to show the galaxy what it was truly capable of. And deep within the beast's armored chest, a thought lingered, something almost human, a recognition that Eli Carter was not just a mechanic, not just a human. He was a partner, a guide, and perhaps the beginning of a new legacy for both humans and the guardian beasts. Eli didn't sleep that night. He sat beside the beast, staring at the stars, thinking about the days ahead. Battles would come, challenges would rise, and the galaxy would continue to underestimate humans. But that was fine. Humans thrived in impossible situations, and Eli was ready to prove it. One step, one repair, one bond at a time. The sun rose over Vorlath Prime, painting the massive city in soft gold. Eli Carter was already up, beside the guardian beast he had repaired and awakened. The creature, now fully aware and responsive, moved gracefully across the training grounds, testing its strength and agility. Each motion was precise, elegant, and intimidating. Eli adjusted his toolkit and climbed onto the beast's armored back, steadying himself as the massive creature shifted. "All right," he said, speaking more to himself than anyone else. "Time to show them what we can really do." The Alien Council had called an emergency meeting. News of the rogue faction's attack and the human-guided guardian beast had spread across the planet. Whispers ran through the city. Humans are not weak. Humans can awaken machines no one else can. Galor, still skeptical but no longer dismissive, led the council session. "We cannot deny what has happened," he said. "The human has bonded with the beast, but this cooperation is unprecedented. Can we trust it?" Eli, observing from a distance, didn't respond. Trust had already been earned, not with words but with action. The beast's responses in the recent attack had spoken louder than any council debate. The council had arranged a controlled demonstration. In a large arena, the guardian beast would perform tasks designed to test its capabilities: precision movements, combat simulations, and coordinated defense exercises. Aliens from across the city came to watch. Some were curious, some doubtful, but all were eager to witness the human experiment. Eli stepped forward, climbing onto the beast's back. "Okay," he said softly. "Let's show them what humans and beasts can do together." The first exercise involved agility and coordination. Massive obstacles had been placed across the arena, towering walls, energy barriers, and moving platforms. The beast moved like a predator through them, leaping over walls, dodging energy blasts, and adjusting to each challenge without hesitation. What impressed the aliens most was not just the beast's power, but Eli's guidance. Using subtle gestures and signals, he directed the creature without restricting its independence. Each motion was a combination of instinct and training, human intuition guiding alien strength. They move as one engineer whispered. "It's impossible," Eli smiled faintly. "Not impossible, just human." Next came the combat simulation. Holographic attackers appeared across the arena, firing energy bolts and using complex tactics. The beast responded instantly, blocking attacks, striking back, and adapting its strategy with every movement. Eli directed it with precision, combining his understanding of tactics, human improvisation, and the beast's raw power. Every maneuver was calculated yet fluid, unexpected yet efficient. The holographic attackers were neutralized within minutes. The council members exchanged glances. None had ever seen this. Alien engineers had been trained for decades to control these beasts, yet a single human had surpassed them all. Gaylor muttered under his breath, "The humans' methods, they cannot be taught. It's instinct, creativity, something we lack." Eli didn't argue. He simply guided the beast through the remaining exercises. The final test was the coordination of multiple beasts. Normally, the council controlled each beast separately, but Eli was tasked with directing 3 simultaneously, the one he repaired and 2 others under strict programming. It was a challenge the council expected him to fail. Humans, they thought, could never manage that level of complexity, but Eli approached it like a puzzle. He studied the 3 beasts, their energy signatures and movement patterns. Then he communicated through gestures, subtle signals, and calm commands. The 3 beasts moved as one. They navigated obstacles, blocked attacks, and coordinated defensive positions flawlessly. The aliens in the arena watched in stunned silence. A council member whispered. You've done what no engineer has done in a century. Eli patted the beast's armored flank. We worked together. That's the difference. Later, Eli took the beast to the city outskirts for a different test, a simulated rescue mission. An energy storm had trapped citizens in a collapsed building, and the beasts were sent to extract them. The rogue faction from the previous attack had been dealt with, but for the simulation, holographic dangers mimicked real threats. Eli directed the beast with calm confidence, moving debris, stabilizing structures, and protecting civilians. The beast's intelligence, combined with human guidance, allowed it to make decisions no programming could predict. When a wall threatened to collapse, the beast acted before Eli could even react, demonstrating foresight, anticipation, and adaptation. Remarkable, a council engineer said. The human doesn't just repair, he enhances. He brings something to the beast that we cannot. Eli smiled, brushing dirt off his gloves. It's not me. It's humans. We see possibilities where others see limits. We adapt, improvise, and connect. Back in the city, word spread quickly. Humans were no longer seen as fragile or inferior. The citizens, once skeptical, now looked at Eli as a symbol of ingenuity and courage. Children pointed at him in awe. Adults whispered about what humans could achieve. The alien council had to acknowledge the shift. Humans were exceptional, even if their ways were unconventional. But not everyone was pleased. Some factions within the council feared the human influence. Could a human-guided beast be too powerful? Could it challenge their control? Secret meetings were held, plotting ways to regain authority. Eli, unaware of these political maneuvers, focused on the beast. He worked tirelessly, enhancing its systems further, improving efficiency, and deepening the connection between human and guardian. One evening, as Eli sat beside the beast, Galor approached him. Human, he said cautiously, you have proven something extraordinary. But be warned, there are those who do not wish to see your success. Your methods, your bond, it threatens the balance we maintain. Eli looked up at him, calm. Let them try. The beast and I are a team. We do not act recklessly, but we do not follow the rules of those who cannot think beyond them. Galor studied him, realizing the human's resolve was unshakable. Then, perhaps the galaxy will have to accept what we cannot understand. Days passed, and Eli continued to demonstrate the advantages of human ingenuity. The beast learned faster, adapted better, and performed feats no alien engineer had imagined. Its movements were faster, smoother, and more precise. Its decisions were smarter, anticipating threats before they became real. Humans began to be seen not just as fragile beings, but as innovators, thinkers, and strategists. Even the skeptics could not deny it. One evening, Eli and the beast stood atop a cliff overlooking the city. The twin moons rose, casting silver light across the sprawling metropolis. Eli spoke softly, as if sharing a secret with the massive creature. You know, big guy, they're starting to understand. Humans are more than they think. And we're just getting started. The beast hummed softly, a vibration that resonated through Eli's chest. It was a sound of acknowledgement, trust, and partnership. Eli smiled, feeling pride and excitement. They had not only repaired the beast, but had awakened it, and in doing so had shown the galaxy the true potential of humanity. As night fell, the city was calm, but Eli knew challenges were coming. The rogue faction had retreated, but political intrigue within the council was growing. Some wanted to control the human-guided beast. Others feared its independence. Eli had to be prepared, but he was not worried. He had the beast, a partner more powerful and intelligent than anyone had imagined. Together they had proven that humans could do the impossible. The dawn on Vorlath Prime was calm, but the city hummed with anticipation. Word had spread across the planet. A human had repaired, awakened, and now commanded a guardian beast. Citizens gathered on the streets, their eyes wide with awe and curiosity, while alien engineers and council members debated the implications behind closed doors. Eli Carter stood atop a cliff with the massive beast at his side. The city stretched below them, a labyrinth of shining towers and flowing energy lines. The twin moons hung low in the sky, casting silver light that reflected off the beast's armored plates. Eli adjusted his toolkit one last time and ran a final check over the creature's systems. "Today we show them who humans really are," he said quietly. The beast rumbled in response, a sound that vibrated through the ground like a living heartbeat. They had faced skepticism, rogue attacks, and doubt, but now it was time to leave a lasting mark. The Alien Council had arranged the final demonstration. Representatives from across Vorlath Prime would witness it, and Eli had been given free rein to show the beast's capabilities. Some council members had hoped he would fail, fearing that human innovation could upset the balance of power. Others secretly wondered if humans were capable of something greater than any alien engineer had ever imagined. The demonstration arena was vast, larger than any city block, filled with complex obstacles, energy fields, and moving targets. Eli climbed onto the beast's back and whispered, "Let's give them a show they won't forget." The first challenge tested agility and intelligence. Massive walls rose from the ground, energy barriers flickered into existence, and moving platforms shifted unpredictably. The beast reacted instinctively, leaping over walls, dodging beams, and navigating platforms with ease. What made it extraordinary, however, was Eli's guidance. With subtle gestures and commands, he directed the beast without restricting its independence. The alien audience gasped. Their most advanced engineers had struggled to control a single guardian beast. Eli was directing one with precision, while also coordinating two others nearby, a feat considered impossible. "Humans. They think differently," whispered one council member. "They see possibilities, not limitations." Eli smiled faintly, patting the beast's armored neck. "Exactly. We adapt, we improvise, and we work together." Next came the combat simulation. Holographic attackers emerged, firing energy bolts, deploying shields, and using complex strategies to overwhelm the beasts. Eli guided his companion with calm precision. Every strike was calculated, every dodge anticipated. The beast moved fluidly, combining raw power with strategic thinking. Then came the unexpected. One of the holographic attackers simulated a collapse of a building filled with civilians. Without hesitation, the beast rushed forward. It lifted debris, stabilized the structure, and created a safe path, all while responding to Eli's subtle directions. The audience was stunned. Alien engineers had taught the beast to follow commands, yes, but never to make decisions autonomously, while still cooperating with a human guide. He's enhancing the beast, not controlling it," one engineer muttered. "This is something new entirely." Eli, guiding the creature with gestures and voice, moved seamlessly through the simulation. He was not just a mechanic. He was a strategist, a leader, and a partner. The beast, once feared as a destructive weapon, had become a symbol of intelligence, precision, and trust. After the demonstration, a tense moment arose. A faction of council members who had feared human influence tried to assert control. "This human cannot be allowed to guide the beast alone," one of them declared. "It is a threat to our authority." Eli didn't flinch. He looked at the beast and it responded instantly, stepping forward with a low rumble. Its eyes glowed with awareness and loyalty. The council members realized with unease that the beast was not theirs to command. It belonged to Eli, not by ownership but by choice. "This beast will not be controlled by fear," Eli said, voice steady. "It trusts me because I respect it. And if you want the city safe, you will respect that bond." The room fell silent. Even Galor, once skeptical, nodded slowly. "Perhaps humans are not only capable of repairing machines, but of guiding them beyond what we ever imagined." Eli and the beast were then invited to a public ceremony. Citizens and officials gathered to witness the first human-guided guardian beast in history. Children cheered, pointing at the towering creature, while adults whispered about the human ingenuity that had made it possible. Even the most conservative aliens had to acknowledge the human skill and courage. Eli climbed onto the beast's back and waved. The creature lowered its head slightly as if bowing to the crowd. The audience erupted into applause. Humans were no longer seen as fragile outsiders. They were innovators, leaders, and heroes. The beast had become more than a repaired machine. It was now a symbol of human potential. The next days were filled with challenges that tested Eli and the beast further. Rogue factions still lurked beyond the city, and political intrigue within the council continued. But Eli approached each challenge with calm focus. He trained the beast, honed strategies, and demonstrated repeatedly that humans could achieve the impossible through courage,
ingenuity, and trust. During a particularly tense exercise,
a simulated threat emerged from multiple directions simultaneously. Alien engineers hesitated, unsure how to coordinate their own beasts. Eli, however, directed his guardian with ease, precision, and foresight. It moved faster than any simulation had predicted, neutralizing threats, saving simulated civilians, and adapting on the fly. The council watched in awe. One elder muttered, "We underestimated humans. Their creativity, their courage, it surpasses our own." Eli, exhausted but exhilarated, patted the beast's armored side. "We just think differently. That's all." The beast responded with a soft vibration, a sound that resonated through Eli's chest. It was acknowledgement, pride, and partnership. Together, they had proven a truth that no alien could deny. Humans were exceptional. Weeks passed, and Eli's reputation grew. Citizens, engineers, and council members alike recognized that human ingenuity could change the balance of power and understanding across the galaxy. The human's ability to adapt, innovate, and connect with the guardian beast had shattered centuries of assumptions. The council, once resistant, now acknowledged Eli's contributions. New policies were proposed to study human techniques, not to replicate them blindly, but to understand and learn from them. Humans were no longer outsiders. They were partners, teachers, and pioneers. One evening, Eli and the beast stood atop the city's highest tower. The twin moons rose in the sky, reflecting off the beast's armored plates. Eli spoke softly. "We've done more than repair you," he said, looking at the creature's glowing eyes. "We've shown them who humans really are, and we're just getting started." The beast responded with a hum that vibrated through the tower. It was a sound of pride, trust, and loyalty. Eli smiled, knowing the journey ahead would be filled with challenges, adventures, and opportunities to prove humanity's worth again and again. As the city slept beneath them, Eli reflected on the path that had brought him here. Skepticism, danger, and doubt had tested him, but his determination, creativity, and connection with the beast had carried him through. Humans were fragile compared to these massive alien beings, yes, but they had something no machine, no alien, and no technology could replicate: intuition, courage, and the ability to think beyond limits, and the galaxy was watching. The final legacy of Eli and the guardian beast was not just the repair or the battle won. It was a reminder that humans, no matter how small or underestimated, could rise to challenges, innovate beyond expectation, and inspire awe. From that day on, the story of the human mechanic and the awakened guardian beast spread across the stars. Children on distant worlds whispered about it. Engineers studied it. Leaders acknowledged it. Eli and the beast became symbols of what humanity could achieve, not through strength alone, but through trust, intelligence, and courage. And somewhere, deep inside the beast's armored chest, a thought lingered: awareness, partnership, and a recognition that this small, strange human had changed everything. Eli Carter mounted the beast one last time, looking out over the horizon. The twin moons shone brightly, the city sprawled beneath them, and the stars above seemed to twinkle with possibility. "Let's see what else we can do," he whispered. The beast responded with a soft, approving rumble, and together they disappeared into the dawn, leaving a legacy that would be remembered across the galaxy for generations to come. Humans had proven their worth, and the universe would never forget it.